Welcome to this new episode of The Disabled Life. The purpose of this podcast is to tell people how I live my life. The name I'm using on the podcast now is The Disabled Guy, because I felt that you needed to hear something as opposed to just my voice there. I'm a disabled male living in Florida with cerebral palsy. I'm here to tell you how I live my life and some of the volunteer work that I do and how I managed to do it with cerebral palsy. Without further ado, let's go into the episode. Well, this is an episode that I planned to do a couple weeks ago, and I did it. And then I took the episode down because it did not record properly. So, this episode is about internet safety for the disabled and elderly. Okay. Because there's a lot of people out there that have been scammed on the internet. I've experienced something. I've never been scammed because I'm very careful. I have CP or cerebral palsy, but I have complete mental faculty, and I understand what is going on in the world. There are other disabled people that have Down syndrome and other developmental disabilities, that people prey upon because they don't think that those people, and truthfully, they don't think right. I'm not going to mention where I saw this. I saw one on a YouTube video. I'm not going to mention the YouTube video or anything, because they're a popular family on YouTube. All I'm going to say is not even that. So, the person has some type of mental disability. I don't know what it is called. It doesn't matter for this. She gave money to a person. Gave her debit card information to a person. And then she got scammed. Luckily, she didn't have too much on that card. But, truthfully, you have to be careful. Don't give your bank information. I don't even know. I've done this too, but I'm not going to do it again. A phone number. Don't do that. Don't give an address unless you really know the person. I've done it once before for a fellow podcaster, and the reason I did that for her is because we have been talking for a while, and that's fine. We talked for a while. So I gave it to her, no problem. But no, I don't give information unless, because it's very difficult. Once it's out there, it's out there. You cannot get it back in, like they say, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. So, now, not only the disabled, also people will target the elderly. And I know why they do that, because sometimes elderly people don't understand the internet, don't understand computers, and they click something wrong. For example, I'll use this. For example, I know for a fact that you jump on the internet, sometimes they'll send messages to you saying this is compromised, that is compromised. I actually experienced one of these things. I clicked on something, and they kept sending me messages saying that my computer was compromised, and that I needed to buy this and buy that, and my iCloud was compromised and stolen, and my computer was at risk of being corrupted. Well, honestly, I was kind of scared about that. But there's one thing that I did. Do. I have no problem calling Apple support, allowing them to look at my screen. They physically can't do anything. They can't take over my computer, and I gotta let them because that's a problem. So, and there's certain information they can't see. But so anyway, to make a long story short here, so I went on a computer because I was kind of freaked out, and I called them and I have them share my screen with me, and they said open this thing and open this thing. They looked at it and they go, They asked me if I had antivirus software. I said no. The thing I like about the Apple computer is that they're so up on their game that you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about anything of that nature because they're really up on their game. They really know. They throw stuff for updates. They don't talk about viruses or anything of that. All of a sudden, you'll get a security update, and let me tell you, as soon as I see the security update roll, I will put the security update through. Because when they tell me that, I believe them. Anytime they need a software update, even though it's not a security update, I will go through and roll with it because you never know. So I'm telling you. So those of you that are listening to me here, if you're younger than retirement age, please watch out for your parents. Please don't let them do stuff that they shouldn't. Because I don't know much about computers. I know enough to do what I do and do some volunteer work online. I proctor exams online sometimes from the road, sometimes from home. But it's scary when your computer is not working right. It is scary, and I've had situations where if you can afford it, one way to resolve these problems is if you can afford it to get a plan that includes tech support. I know Best Buy has them. Other places might. I don't know where. I know Apple has one. I pay for one every year, and it's unlimited tech support. I can, if for example my computer were to break, something were to break, like a key broke. I walked in the store. I took my computer in, and they sometimes were telling me, "Oh, you have to leave it." I go, "Hopefully not." Luckily, I didn't have to leave it. It was replaced at the moment. A technician took it in the back, made sure she had the part, and brought me the part back out and put it in there. So anyway, so that's what I'm talking about. Make sure that you are being careful what you do out there. With that, thank you for. Okay, with that, I'm gonna throw this in here. In closing, let me say thank you for listening to this episode of The Disabled Life. You can follow me on the following platforms. You can follow me at Good Pods. You can leave comments, messages there. You can also follow me on Twitter at The Disabled Guy. And you can also listen to me on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, and many others. Once again, thank you for listening, and I'll also give you my email. My email is Kilo Echo 4 Kilo Echo Yankee or KE4KEY@gmail.com. Once again, thank you, and thank you for your support. And I'll see you next week.